I've literally never done this before. Hi. I feel really ridiculous. My name is Philip. Um, and for the past 10 years or so, I've been writing a story, doing world building in my head, and I am ready to release it. I wrote it down, and I'm ready to show it to the world, show it to you guys first, I guess. I don't really know what that looks like, so I guess this is kind of me just putting a feeler out there and saying, if you want to read it, then just let me know, and Kaylee and I will get it to you. Kaylee's my wife. She's lovely. And yeah. So I don't know if to look here or if I look here, but I kind of have a little bit of a lazy eye, so it makes me nervous to do that. But yeah, if you want to read it, then let me know, and we'll get it to you. We're working on putting it on Kindle. We're going to put it on Kindle for free, and we're going to link it to our Patreon that we're working on. Anyway, it's just part 1 of 5. It's just over 15,000 words. It's not a whole lot. It's not like a huge time commitment or anything, but I think it's an interesting story, and I think that you will too, or I hope that you will at least. So, anyway, just yeah. I feel like I'm leaving a voicemail a little bit. So, talk to you later. All right, bye.
Come on, Dre. The pup alone is at least worth 3 times that. Ren pressed into the thick hide where it left an impression of his right thumb, took a knife from the counter and scraped the sharp of the blade against the grain, making a sound like ripping paper against the 2.5-inch thick dire wolf's pup skin. He stabbed the knife back into the counter, wincing from the reverberation it made on his body, and agitating the wound festering on his other hand. Every now and then the bike mark would ooze a bit more blood, leaving drops on the floor of the market, the edges of the bite itself beginning to turn a sickly yellow. Ain't no one under her great green growth is putting up more than 15 stones for... Ain't no one under her great green growth is putting up more than 15 stones for a measly dire wolf pup skin what ain't even grown. And what are these, rabbit pelts? You're selling me your dinner now, that it? Think you can do and take as you please, bleed on my rug. He spat and eyed the boy up and down. Looks like some mold don't clean no matter how much you scrape. Man's gotta eat, Dre. No, man's gotta stop bleeding on me flogging rug. It's 15 stone for the dire pup, and I'll give... He picked through the bloodied and hastily skinned pelts. I'll give you 2 pebbles for each rabbit. That's 20 stone and more than you deserve. Those rabbits were vicious, Dre, nigh onto becoming dire themselves. Proactive culling should be at least worth a stone each, agreed. I'm not giving you 10 flogging stones for rabbit pelts, boy. Do you see a flogging hunter gill's mark hanging above... I'm not giving you 10 flogging stones for rabbit pelts, boy. Do you see a flogging hunter's guild mark hanging above my shop door? No. No. You're out of your mind. 3 pebbles each, then. You're lucky I'm taking them at all. What am I going to do with them? The shopkeeper picked up the cut of the dire leather once again and examined it closely. He let out a sigh. Look, kid, I'll give you 20 stone for the pup, and I'll take the lot of the pelts for 5. That's enough to get you squared away with Doc, who I'm sure you owe well above by any right. You can get plenty of food in you, heck, maybe even a room for a month or 2. Gotta be a hole around here someone wouldn't mind you crawling into, you toss a ruby their way. Might do you some good to sleep under a roof. He looked into Ren's bloodshot and wired eyes. Or sleep at all, I reckon. Ren's eye twitched and he ran his fingers through his oily black hair with his uninjured hand and took in a deep breath through his nose. He blinked, and his eyes burned and bathed in that glorious juice that the haste had derived them from, if only for a moment. When he opened his eyes, they narrowed and met with the shopkeeper's, and he said, 25 for the pup, then. The shopkeeper shook his head and scrunched his nose, a thinly veiled anger on the tip of his tongue. He pulled the skins behind the counter and went into the back office, a flash of orange emanating from within, emerging a few moments later with a small leather satchel that he dropped onto the counter with a soft clink, still furry and still bloody. There's 20 stone in that bag. Get some rest, kid, and get out. It wasn't food that Ren needed, of course, and it wasn't sleep. 3 days without now and still wide and awake. What he needed was sweet, sweet Demarian haste. He had enough money to He had enough money to stock up for at least a month. No Mollies to accuse him of stealing her jewelry, which he still didn't seem to feel much remorse for. What little remorse he did have, he had taken out on his room before he left, while she was at work, so he could leave and have her know how hurt he was without ever needing to say a word. Anyway, that's what I'm reading. Thanks, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, it'll be on the Patreon and Kindle tonight. So I hope you hope you guys like it. If you want.
We have submitted the first act to Kindle, or to Amazon KDP, and yeah.
Perfect.
Patreon.
So, in case you couldn't hear that, I don't know if this picked it up. We just put up our Patreon, and it's in Kindle review right now, so it'll be posted in Kindle in just a few days. So, yeah, it's all.
You set me up like that.
Sorry, it's all happening. Love you guys. God bless, and have a Merry Christmas. Hopefully, it'll be up before Christmas, and it can kind of be like my Christmas present to you guys. A very sad and gross Christmas present.
Soli Deo Gloria.
Love you guys. Bye.